Good morning and happy Tuesday and welcome back. Thanks for watching another video, and today I want to talk about race selection. So we are in the new year now, and the 2017 race season will seem all the more real now we've got over the hump of Christmas and New Year. Before Christmas it was probably just that thing that existed the other side of the festive season. So now it's real. You've got to start selecting the races you do. Most of you, particularly if you're going along, will already have chosen and entered your A race for the year, and hoping that that may lead for qualification or selection to your second A race, which will be later on in the year. Some of you racing shorter may not have decided yet, but you are going to have to choose A races and B races and C races. So let me first define what they are. Your A race is the 1 or 2 or maximum 3 events where you really want to put it all on the line, where you want to taper, where you want to have made sure you have no weaknesses and you give it everything. And as I said earlier, these are often qualification races for World Championships or GB age group events. B races are dress rehearsal events. Whereas you taper for an A race, somewhere between 3 weeks and 7 days, depending on the length of your race. A B race, you probably just take a couple of days of easy beforehand and a couple of days easy afterwards. And a C race is effectively a training session as a race situation. So it could be a cross-country race as a threshold session. It could be a 10k race. It could be a cycle sportif or a swim gala of some sort. All right, but it just fits neatly into your training. Most people, in my mind, choose to do far too many A races. So you've got your selection race and you've got the championship race, but then they also choose that club race where all their mates are going to be, and of course they want to smash them. And then they've done this race every year and they want to go and set a PB, and all of a sudden you end up with a list with half a dozen A races. Now, even if you were to spread your racing out from April to October, which is effectively 7 months, that would be one big race per month. You wouldn't have enough time to peak, race, recover, rebuild, peak, race, recover in that time. So that's why 3 is probably the max, and even then that makes it a long season. So I'd be advocating 1 or possibly 2. B races, as I said, are dress rehearsals. So if you were doing an iron distance race, you might choose a half or a standard as a dress rehearsal. For example, you might decide that, or you might know that one of your weaknesses is open water swimming in large groups, and that is something you're going to have to face on the day of your A race. And so you put yourself in that particular position on the B races. It doesn't matter about the bike and the run, they're just going to be training sessions. You're really going to go out there and put to bed those demons for the swim. Likewise, it may be that your discipline on the bike goes to pieces when other people come past you. And particularly on the longer races, you can't afford to do that. You have to ride your own race. And so you go into the B race with the sole goal of swimming steady, getting on the bike and riding to a particular pace or power or intensity. C races. C races are really just training sessions. So instead of a track session, you might decide that you're going to do a 10k race. Or you may decide that as part of your swim program, you need to prove to yourself that you can swim your race distance non-stop inside the cut-off time or at the pace that you need to qualify. If you're doing an iron distance race, then you could do something like the Swimathon in March. 5k, it's a perfect opportunity to swim non-stop in a pool. At least you'll know where your pacing is and you'll have plenty of time to correct it. Could also be a cycle sportif. It could be a low-key triathlon where you just want to get out there and practice your transitions. But the point is, if you're really interested and keen to do your best this year, then it's important for you to segregate your races into A, B and C and race them accordingly. And if you are really disciplined, then you'll know that the only races where the performance is super important is the A race. You probably get beaten on the B race. You'll probably be below your expectations, but that's because you're not putting it all out there. So you need to be mentally attuned to the fact that A races are where it all happens, and B races you will get beaten or you'll maybe not hit your best time, but as long as you've hit those other goals of getting the open water practice or getting your nutrition nailed. So be mindful of how your races fall, be mindful of how each of them fits into a pattern to lead you up to your A race, and be mindful of the fact that it's not all about time, it's about achieving other goals. That way you'll have the best and most enjoyable season ever. You should, if you've done everything right, hit your goals and achieve what you want for your A race, and then in October we can all sit there with a glass of wine and pat ourselves on the back saying, I did what I wanted to. Sounds simple, doesn't it? Now you've got to go out and execute it. Okay, over to you. My job done. I'll be back on Friday with another video. Bye for now.